Look up at the sky, ask it why are you all so afraid?
What is up, everyone? My name is Andrea. If you don't know me, you should subscribe because, like, why not? You should also hit the notification bell down below to be notified every time I upload a new video, as soon as I upload a new video. But anyway, today I'm going to be doing the 20 questions book tag. I don't know who created this tag originally, so if you know, please let me know. But I was like trying to find it, and it seems like everyone has just tagged the person who previously tagged them. So I was just going down like this labyrinth, this like backwards labyrinth of people who have been tagged and I don't know who the first person was, so it was too much. So whoever created this, you're awesome, but I don't know who they are. This tag seemed like something really fun for like all readers because all the questions are just very bookish, and some of them are like your favorite books, some of them have to do with like your bookish preferences. So I'm really excited, and let's just get started. The first question is, how many books is too many books in a series? I would say that 8 books is like my max. I think that's a good number. If it's like over that, like 9 or 10 and going on, I think it's just too many books for me. But I love long series, so if it's like 6 books, that's perfect. 8 books, great. But anything more than that, I think the series is just too long, and it's like, it's just time to let it go. Like, I don't know what could possibly be in a 10-book long series. I've never read one. I don't think I want to. I think it's just, you gotta cut it off, and 8 is like the max. Number 2 is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? So I think we can all agree that cliffhangers suck, and like nobody likes to read cliffhangers because you don't want to be left off not knowing something. You don't want to be left in the dark of like a good book that you just read. But also you have to admit that the cliffhanger makes a series or makes a book 10 times better. Like, if it's a really good one and you're dying for the next book, or you're dying to know like if the character really died and stuff like that, I mean, I kind of love it. It's kind of great. It's like that feeling that you chase when you're reading a book. That's how cliffhangers are, if they're good. If they're like for no reason and they're dumb, it's like, okay. Like, there's nothing worse than reading a book and you get to a cliffhanger and like you do not care about it at all, and you're just like kind of like, why'd the author do this? You know, that's silly. But when it actually shocks you and you're actually like dying for the next one, those are good cliffhangers. Those just add to the reading experience, and I do like them. Number 3 is hardcover or paperback, and I would definitely say that I prefer to own hardcovers, like just as a collection or just from a collector's point of view. But I definitely mostly buy paperbacks because they're cheaper and like more affordable, and that's great. I think I actually prefer to read paperbacks because they're just easier to hold, and when I read hardcovers, I don't take off the dust jackets because I'm weird like that, and I feel like I have to have the whole book together to read it. So that's just something that's weird that I do. But yeah, I prefer to read paperback. So number 4 is favorite book, which is like a dreaded question for all readers because it's really hard to narrow down to one book. But my favorite book, like not a series, would probably be The Name of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I think that book is just perfection. It's just such a good read. And I really like that book. So I'd say that one. Also Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Those are 2 that if somebody asked me, what's your favorite book, and they're not talking about series and they're not talking about like fantasies, I will say those 2 books. I'm sorry that I keep like moving and the camera angle just changed. I was just kneeling and it was not comfortable, so now I'm comfortable. Now we can continue. Number 5 is least favorite book. That's kind of hard too because if I'm not liking a book, I won't finish it. But a book that I read that I didn't like, recently, I talked about this in my wrap-up, but recently I read Vengeful, which is a sequel to Vicious, and I really didn't like that book. The more I think about it, I think I just didn't like it. So that's probably my least favorite book right now at the moment. Number 6 is love triangles, yes or no? I gotta say yes to love triangles. I love them. I will eat them up. I think that if they're done well, can be something that kind of drives a book and drives a series. Just personally for me, I live for the angst, so I love triangles. I haven't read a book with a love triangle in a while, and I'm kind of mad because for a long time that's all we were getting in YA, like from the Hunger Games. It's kind of in Shatter Me, it's in the Mortal Instruments, it's in a lot of things, and I just personally love love triangles. So that's That's just me though. I know a lot of people don't. Number 7 is most recent book you couldn't finish. I think the last book that I actually DNF'd was Frankly in Love by David Yoon. I remember that book was hyped up for a while last year. I got it. It was like a signed copy. It was beautiful. I tried to read it and I just couldn't. I don't know why. I just could not finish that book. So yeah, I never finished it and I actually got rid of it. So I hope that book's doing good. I hope some people did like it, but I just didn't. Number 8 is a book you're currently reading. I'm actually reading a lot of books right now. So I'm reading A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, I think. I'm also in the middle of Jade City by Fonda Lee, The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, and The Descent of the Drowned by Anna Loudon, I believe. Yeah, those are 3 books I've just been working on like all year, and I haven't finished them, which is really weird for me, but I'm gonna finish them. I do like them all. I'm trying to get through them, but they were just taking a lot of time, so I kind of put them on the back, but I'm gonna go back to them. Number 9 is the last book you recommended to someone. So I think the last book I recommended was to my friend Sarah, and that was Shatter Me, or like, it's the most recent book that I recommended that somebody is reading because she had just read it and she didn't like it. And so I'm really mad at her right now. It's a thing. It's not great. I also recommended A Court of Thorns and Roses to my friend Alex, who is taking a long time to read it. So I'm like, maybe she doesn't like it. Maybe I shouldn't have recommended that to her. I don't know if she was ready for the fairies yet. She's been reading, like, she read Six of Crows and liked it. She's been reading a little more than usual, and I was like, okay, maybe it's time for the fairies. I don't know, because she hasn't really got back to me on that, so maybe I shouldn't have. But yeah, those are some books I recommended recently. Number 10 is oldest book you've read by publication date. So that probably has to be Little Women. I think Little Women is one of the few classics that I have actually gotten to, because I've been wanting to read, like, I have this long list of classics I want to read. Little Women is one that I actually read, and it has to be the oldest, I'm sure. And then 11 is newest book you've read by publication date. That has to be Any Way the Wind Blows by Rainbow Rowell. This one is the 3rd book in the Simon Snow trilogy. That one just came out on like July 7th, July 6th, something like that. I got it and I read it. I just finished it like yesterday or the day before, so that one. Number 12 is favorite author. This changes often and I have a lot. I think I've just narrowed it down to a couple, but for the sake of a long conversation, I'm going to cut it short and just say Cassandra Clare. The more I think about it, the more I realize that that is the person whose books I own the most copies of. That's a person who, if she puts anything out, I will buy it no matter what, no matter if I'm broke, no matter if I cannot get to the store, I will find a way. She's also an author that I've met twice, and so I just feel a connection. I just feel like I really love her. I really love her books, so it's Cassandra Clare for sure. Number 13 is buying books or borrowing books. I have to say buying because I am a possessive creature and I like to own things. I am somebody who likes things, which is not good. Like, not even just books, just I like to own things. Pens, I have 1,000 pens. Highlighters, markers, stuff like that. I have to have a lot of them. I literally bought paper so I could make bookmarks for other people and I haven't given them away. I've kept them for myself. I just like things. Cups, mugs, you get it. You get the picture. I like stuff. So I like to buy things. And if people had the books I wanted, like if I had a friend like myself and they had all these books and I could just borrow them, maybe I would, because that'd be great and it'd be great to test them out before actually spending my money. But I don't have anyone who does that, so I am that friend. So I buy the books and other people can borrow them from me. Number 14 is a book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. So this month I read Circe by Madeline Miller, and everyone loves Circe. Just I don't get it. I didn't like it. I don't know. It just wasn't it for me. I really liked A Song of Achilles a lot better. Not to compare them because they're 2 different books. Yes, they're by the same author, but I know that they're 2 different books, so they're not comparable. But I don't know. I just didn't like Circe that much, so I'm gonna hide from the booktube community because I don't like it. Number 15 is bookmarks or dog ears. So I really like bookmarks, like we've established. I make my own. I keep them all. I have like 100 bookmarks. I buy a lot of bookmarks as well. So definitely I use bookmarks. It was so dumb. So I was reading the book I'm reading right now and I didn't have a bookmark. So I was using $1 and then I was dog earing the pages. Like I will dog ear pages. I don't have anything against it. Like I will. I prefer not to, but if I have to, I'm like, okay, whatever. Let's just bend it real quick. We're good. But overall, yeah, I prefer bookmarks just because I hoard them. So I feel like I need to use them. Number 16 is a book you can always read. So any Shadowhunter books. I'll read any one of them any time of the day. Give me it, I will read it. That's definitely my number one. Like, I know I've read those a lot, and there's just so much substance there that you can almost find something new every time you read it. So if I was gonna go back and read like the whole thing, it would be almost a different experience every time, and little things I would pick up on. I feel like it's a series where, depending on what stage of life you're in or what age you are or stuff like that, that can kind of determine how you see the books. And maybe every time you go back, it'll be a little bit different because you're different as a person. I don't know. That's how I feel with Shadowhunters. And every time I go back to them, I feel like I'm going home, but I also feel like I'm learning something and I'm experiencing something different. So that's like one of the best things. Number 17 is, can you read while hearing music? I can read anywhere. I will ignore my family, I will ignore my fiance, I will ignore my friends. Like, I can tune them out, like, not being rude by ignoring them, but I can. So with music, it's kind of the same. I can pretty much block it out, but I don't really like to listen to music when I read. I would rather read in silence. Like, I want it dead silent, no one talking, no TV, no music on. I want to just like be able to hear the characters almost, and it's easier definitely with nothing else. But if music's on, I also don't mind. And like today, earlier, I was reading for like an hour and I did put on music, so, but I just turned it on to like volume 2, like very quiet. So it's almost like inaudible, but you can hear it. If I can't hear the words, even better. If it's just like instrumental, I like to listen to that. So yeah, I prefer not to, but I don't mind it. Number 18 is one POV or multiple POVs. I actually used to hate multiple point of views. It wasn't something that I really liked in books or chased after or wanted. But now I don't really mind. I always find when a book has multiple POVs, some of them I don't care about, and that's when I get really mad, because if there's just so many character point of views for no reason, it bothers me. So I think overall I would say one point of view is ideal for me. But if it's done well, I will take multiple. Number 19, do you read a book in one sitting or multiple days? I think everyone takes multiple days. Like, unless you don't have a job or don't like have stuff to do, you can just sit there and read a book in one day, which a lot of people can. Like, I know people can do that. When I was in high school, like before I had a job, I would do that in the summer. I would just sit there and read all day. It was the best thing ever. I wish I could still do that, but now I don't. I take multiple days. Usually 3 days is where I can read a book, but when I'm off, I can sit there and read like all day. But those days are few and far between and don't happen often anymore, sadly. So if you can still do that, appreciate it, because I miss it so much. Okay, 20. Who do you tag? So I asked my group chat if anybody wanted to be tagged because I was filming this, and none of them replied, so they're all flops. So shout out to all you flops that didn't answer me. But I don't know who else to tag, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tag anyone watching this if you want to do this. It was really fun. I think it's cool to get to know other booktubers like as readers and their reading preferences. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. But yeah, if you want to do it, I tag you. You can say I tagged you. I will have all my social media linked down below if you want to check it out and follow me. I also have some ways you can help support my channel. Recently, I started a Ko-fi, so it's basically like you can buy me a coffee and like send me $3 or something, and that will just go back into my channel. Hello, Ollie. He just interrupted me. But yeah, so that would help go back into my channel and help me improve it, help me with, you know, getting a new camera, stuff like that. So if you want to check that out, you can. But that's pretty much all I have to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
I saw you out in Hollywood, so we drove to Laurel Canyon. I